Freezing desert winds swept across the empty highway station while diner owner Clara Bennett cleaned tables alone beneath fading yellow ceiling lights quietly after midnight tonight. Inside the nearly abandoned roadside diner beside the silent interstate road, exhausted truck drivers finished eating, while old country music echoed softly through dusty walls endlessly. Near the broken fuel pumps outside, Clara noticed a homeless man sitting weakly beside the highway fence, with bruised hands trembling from unbearable cold and exhaustion silently. The man wore torn black clothing stained with dried blood, while expensive leather shoes beneath the dust revealed he once belonged somewhere far more powerful before tonight suddenly. Despite the frightened warnings from tired customers nearby, Clara opened the diner door carefully and invited the silent stranger inside for warmth and food without hesitation tonight. The homeless man introduced himself quietly as Elias Ward, yet fear remained hidden behind his exhausted eyes while he avoided every question about his mysterious past completely. The sharp smell of burned coffee filled the quiet diner while Clara wrapped Elias inside an old blanket and watched him struggle against painful memories silently tonight, alone. Hours later, after the final customers disappeared into darkness outside, Clara allowed Elias to sleep inside the empty diner booth beside the flickering kitchen lights carefully tonight. Before falling asleep completely, Elias suddenly grabbed Clara's trembling hand tightly and whispered that dangerous people would come searching for him before sunrise arrived without mercy. Early the next morning, Clara froze beside the diner windows in horror after several black luxury SUVs surrounded the lonely highway building silently from every direction outside. Clara's trembling hands nearly dropped the coffee pot, while black SUVs blocked every exit around the lonely diner beneath the pale morning sunlight silently outside. Men wearing expensive dark coats stepped slowly from the vehicles, while frightened travelers inside the diner moved away from windows, sensing dangerous tension filling the air instantly. Elias remained seated quietly inside the corner booth, yet Clara noticed his exhausted eyes watching every movement outside with painful fear and buried regret silently this morning. The old diner clock ticked loudly above the counter, while one tall stranger entered calmly and placed a silver photograph beside Elias without speaking a single word first. Clara froze after seeing Elias standing beside powerful politicians and wealthy businessmen inside the photograph, revealing the homeless stranger once lived among dangerous, influential people secretly. The tall stranger finally whispered that Elias disappeared weeks earlier after stealing classified files capable of destroying several powerful men connected to organized corruption nationwide completely forever. Elias suddenly grabbed Clara's wrist tightly beneath the table and warned her quietly that nobody outside cared whether innocent people survived the coming violence any more tonight at all. The smell of burned bacon drifted through the silent diner while the armed men outside slowly surrounded the building like hunters trapping wounded prey before execution carefully together. Clara demanded the truth desperately, but Elias only lowered his exhausted eyes before confessing he once helped those men bury innocent lives for money and political power secretly. As police sirens echoed faintly somewhere beyond the empty interstate highway, the diner lights suddenly failed completely, while footsteps approached the locked entrance slowly through silence outside. Darkness swallowed the roadside diner completely, while terrified customers rushed toward the rear exit, leaving Clara and Elias trapped beside the silent kitchen area, alone tonight. The emergency lights flickered weakly above shattered floor tiles, while heavy footsteps echoed closer through the diner entrance, carrying danger, hatred, and unfinished business silently forward. Elias pulled Clara behind the counter quickly before armed men stormed inside, searching every corner with cold expressions that revealed years of violence and hidden crimes completely tonight. The tall stranger stepped through the broken entrance calmly and accused Elias of betraying powerful men after secretly copying evidence connected to murders and missing witnesses nationwide forever. Clara watched silently in horror while Elias admitted he once worked beside those dangerous men, helping them destroy innocent families through blackmail, fear, and political corruption secretly before. Tears filled Elias's exhausted eyes as he confessed he finally turned against them after discovering his younger brother died during one of their hidden operations years earlier, painfully. The diner's weak ceiling lights illuminated Clara's terrified face, while she realized the wounded homeless man sleeping inside her diner carried unbearable guilt and deadly secrets together silently tonight. The tall stranger smiled coldly before revealing Elias was never meant to survive because too many powerful people feared the truth hidden inside the stolen classified files forever completely. Outside the dusty diner windows, distant helicopters circled slowly above the empty interstate highway, while approaching sirens echoed louder through the freezing desert air continuously tonight nearby. As Elias reached carefully inside his torn jacket for the hidden flash drive containing every secret, the armed stranger suddenly raised a pistol directly toward Clara. Without hesitation, silently, Elias pushed Clara violently behind the counter, moments before the armed stranger fired a deafening gunshot through the dark, silent diner, suddenly without warning tonight. The bullet shattered coffee machines beside the kitchen wall, while terrified silence filled the diner and broken glass scattered across the cracked floor, violently everywhere around them. Clara trembled beneath the counter, while Elias stood protectively before her, his exhausted face carrying years of regret, guilt, and buried emotional suffering silently tonight, alone. The tall stranger laughed coldly before revealing Elias once helped powerful businessmen destroy innocent workers who threatened exposing hidden crimes connected to illegal trafficking operations nationwide secretly. Elias lowered his eyes painfully and admitted every accusation was true, confessing he spent years obeying monsters until his own brother disappeared without explanation forever afterward, silently. The weak emergency lights flickered above the ruined diner, while Clara realized the homeless man she trusted carried blood-stained secrets capable of destroying countless powerful lives completely forever tonight. Outside the lonely highway station, black SUVs surrounded the building entirely, while armed men prepared weapons carefully beneath the pale desert sunrise, approaching slowly across empty roads nearby. Elias suddenly handed Clara the hidden flash drive containing classified evidence and begged her quietly to escape before innocent lives were buried beside his sins forever tonight too. The tall stranger's expression darkened instantly after seeing the flash drive because its contents exposed politicians, businessmen, and organized criminals connected through decades of hidden violence, secretly nationwide. As Clara backed away, trembling toward the rear kitchen exit, Elias stepped forward silently toward the armed stranger, knowing only one of them would survive this morning alive. Elias walked slowly across the shattered diner floor, while armed men surrounded him completely, their weapons raised beneath the cold, pale sunrise outside silently this morning. The tall stranger smirked confidently and promised Elias a painless death if he surrendered the classified evidence exposing powerful criminals hidden behind respected public identities forever nationwide. Instead of surrendering quietly, Elias suddenly smashed the diner lights completely, plunging the ruined building into darkness while terrified shouting echoed violently through broken walls. Instantly tonight, Clara escaped through the rear kitchen exit, clutching the hidden flash drive tightly, while distant police sirens roared closer across the empty interstate highway. Rapidly outside nearby today, inside the dark diner, gunshots exploded endlessly between overturned tables, while Elias fought desperately against the armed men, knowing redemption demanded a final painful sacrifice completely tonight, alone. Minutes later, silence swallowed the ruined diner entirely, before police vehicles finally surrounded the highway station and arrested surviving criminals connected to decades of hidden corruption nationwide publicly. Clara stood trembling beside flashing police lights while officers discovered Elias dying quietly near the broken counter where she first offered him warmth and kindness yesterday night silently. Before taking his final breath, Elias looked toward Clara gratefully and whispered that her compassion saved his soul long after the world decided he deserved nothing except hatred forever. Sometimes one act of kindness can change a broken soul forever, because even guilty hearts still search desperately for redemption, forgiveness, and human compassion before death finally arrives. If this story touched your heart, then like this video, subscribe for more powerful stories, and comment below with your thoughts about Elias and Clara.